Hi everybody, my name's Sullivan. I'm a PGA golf professional based in Manchester in England, and I just like to do a few videos just giving you a little bit of insight about my theory and the kind of theories that I've kind of learned over the years as my time as a PGA golf coach mainly. Helping people from beginners all the way through to club golfers and elite players. And really these videos that I'm making at the moment are just little informative videos to help people who don't understand certain aspects about the golf swing, about different areas. There can be a lot of grey areas in golf, and if we can make your understanding of the game a little bit easier, then it's going to help your golf. So what I thought I'd do today is try and clear up the area about how the club head strikes the golf ball correctly, what position the club head should be in when you strike the golf ball correctly, which a lot of people, probably 95% in my experience, don't really understand at all. If you understand this part about hitting the golf ball correctly, then if you go out there on the golf course or the golf range and try and do it, you're definitely going to strike the ball much better, and you're going to get a lot more enjoyment out of your golf. So I always ask people, first of all, where do they think they should be hitting the golf ball, which area? So as you can see, we've got a Titleist Pro V golf ball, which I like to use on the golf course. We've got the bottom, which I always kind of refer to as the South Pole. We've got the middle, which is the equator, and of course the top, which is the North Pole. Now, when I say to people, usually beginners, but there's a lot of club golfers who don't understand how to hit the golf ball correctly. I always ask people, there's a golf ball, there's a golf club, how do these two meet correctly? And I give them three kind of scenarios, a position A, a position B, and a position C. So first of all, let's start with position A. Now, most people will tell me that they try and hit the golf ball here at the bottom, the South Pole, because if they try and hit underneath the golf ball, as they say, the ball will go into the air. It'll be lifted up into the air. So this position, you can see the club face, I've introduced a little bit of loft. The shaft of the club is leaning backwards away from the target, and this person is trying to impact the ball on the South Pole. We've got the next position, which is position B. We've got the sole of the club, which is the area between the which is the area at the bottom of the club, the leading edge, and you've got the club face. You get the sole, so it's kind of flush, completely flat to the ground. You can see the shaft, it's kind of running up parallel. That's position B. And then we've got the final position, which we call position C, where we've kind of taken loft off the club, so we've de-lofted the club. So we've now not got as much loft on this club, which is a 7-iron, and we've lean the club now forward, taking loft off it, lean the club forward towards the target, and you can see by doing that we've got the shaft leaning forward also towards the target. So which is the correct position for impact? Most people think it's position A, some people think it's position B, and a few people think it's position C. Well, the correct position is position C. Now, you might be, that might be surprising to you. You think, well, how can it be position C? Surely it's position A. I've got to get underneath the golf ball. which people always refer to. I'm trying to get underneath it, I'm trying to lift the ball, I'm trying to help it into the air. But you don't need to help it into the air. You've got a golf club here that's designed to do a specific job. You've got a golf ball, which, you know, there's a lot of technology in this golf ball. If you put a pressure on the golf ball, okay, so if you impact the golf ball using position C, you can see that we're trying to impact the golf ball on the equator part of the ball using the first kind of, if you count up from the leading edge, the grooves 1, 2, well, groove 3 and 4 are usually popular with something like this club, which is a 7-iron again. If we impact the golf ball, coming down, hitting the ball first, putting a kind of pressure on the golf ball, you know, you can clearly see, you know, even though I've exaggerated it slightly, everything's moving forward, the shaft's leaning forward, those grooves are starting to hit the equator, you know, and once that club reaches this point, which isn't the lowest point in the swing arc yet, the club reaches this point, makes contact with the ball is gripped by the grooves and starts to rotate up the club face and spin backwards towards the target. Then the club reaches its lowest position, which is into the ground. This is why you take a divot and then out to the finished position. So, you know, divot shouldn't start here, it should always start here, okay, in front of the golf ball, okay, everything's in front towards the target. If your divot starts here behind, you're going to lose power, you're going to lose distance, and, you know, the terminology you hear people talking about, you know, when they hit this bad shot, they fatted it, they hit behind it. This is what usually happens. So, you know, try and get the club coming downwards, putting pressure on the golf ball, you know, in the area of the equator. You're trying to connect with the upper grooves, maybe 3, 4, with this particular club, which is 7-iron. And, you know, hopefully you can start to strike the ball much better, with much more pressure. You're going to produce a lot more distance, much kind of sweeter strikes. And, you know, I hope that helps. Give it a go.